In safety, we're probably all familiar with the Heinrich and Bird triangle, where it describes all these low-level events like first aids, near misses, medical treatments, and then working our way up to the more serious outcomes like restricted duties, lost times, and even fatalities. Lots of studies over the last 20 odd years has basically identified that not all those low outcome events had the potential for a serious injury or fatality. Not all our damaging energies in our workplace have a potential for a serious injury and a fatality. Not all the hazard situations, the way hazards present themselves in the workplace, they don't all have a potential for a serious injury and fatality. And a lot of the research is really finding, as we get more data and we look through more data and we try and understand these events more, is, we're generally finding around 21% of that bottom part of the triangle only ever had the potential for a serious injury or a fatality. So what have we learned, and what are we learning? That the old Heinrich and Bird triangle is not predictive, but it is still descriptive. So what does that mean? Heinrich and Bird were trying to say, if you're having all these minor events, you are exposed to having a fatality. The assumption was if you can reduce all of those minor events, then you're less likely to have a fatality. Now, again, depending on what that work looks like and depending on how you're doing that, but just that general statement isn't actually true. They were trying to say that that triangle, the numbers that sit in there, are a predictive nature. So the more near misses you're having, the closer you're becoming to a fatality. Now, that might be true depending on the context of those near misses. So we've got to actually understand what's happening there, not just say, well, we've had a lot of near misses or a lot of first aids, I'm getting really worried that we're actually going to have a fatality. You need to understand what those were. They may have only ever been a first aid, right? It may have only ever been a stubbed toe or a broken ankle, not ever a loss of life.